everybody, welcome back live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Hope you are all doing well. We got a very exciting show today, so much to get to because my guest is return guest Rebecca Long in the house, experienced climber, unbelievable climber, back off another journey, just 10 days removed, Rebecca, from eastern Nepal, where you were you had a whole mission. Why don't you tell us about the mission first of all, because I know it was quite an experience.
Absolutely. So I headed to Nepal in early April, with the goal to climb both Lhotse and Kanchenjunga, which are mountains number 4 and number 3 tallest mountains in the world. Lhotse is the neighbor of Everest. So about 3/4 of the climb is the exact same climb as Everest. I did that mountain. We acclimatized with all the Everest folks, which was really fun to be in the same circus again as 2 years ago.
It's where you feel most at home, right?
Absolutely, yeah. At this point, I'm starting to get used to that 17,600 feet. And just partying up there.
It really is. You guys do party a little bit, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I was
like the Coachella, the highest Coachella in the world.
Highest Coachella in the world. That's a great way of explaining it. All right, so the Kanchenjunga thing you guys had, what was it, avalanche fears and all that stuff? I'm sure you were pushing to go, but does somebody eventually tell you can, or do you kind of have to come to your senses and say, this isn't the time to do this?
Yeah, I mean, our main guide, Benny, just called it on summit day. So this was day 4 of our push. We were in almost 8,000 meters at this point. And we were in snow that was at least waist deep at this point. So already it was just, every step was fighting. It was absolute dogfight, just moving up there. And then he just could find that the snow pattern was extreme avalanche danger. And when we came down, he said it was a 50-50 chance of us actually triggering an avalanche. So it was definitely in our best interest to head back.
And you can actually do that as climbers. You can trigger avalanches. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so
God, you stun me every time.
We chose life.
You probably do. Really, you just have to trust those guides, right? I mean, they know best.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's probably rule number 1 of don't disobey the guide. Yeah. All right. So there's I'm sure. What's your plan with that? Are you is this something you just have to check that box where you continue in the back of your head gotta get there, gotta get there, gotta get there?
It's not a life or death situation for me to check that box.
You've done so much. It's Lhotse, Everest, obviously 2 years ago. You keep checking all those boxes. I'm just curious to get your mindset.
Sure, but for sure, I'd love to get it someday. It's a gorgeous mountain, and it just does feel like the one that got away at this point. But
okay, yeah. Well, it's crazy to think about. So you in Boston still?
Yep.
So what's it like being? You've been home for 10 days now. What's it like?
Oh, just amazing. The first few days were spent being sick as a dog, as I am every post expedition.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Just the altitude changes.
Yeah. Well, kind of just. I think there's something where your body just kind of holds off on being sick while you're going on these summit pushes, especially between big summits for me. I was really starting to get a sore throat, a bad cold, but then everyone was like, you can't be sick now, we have one more summit to do, and then you can be sick. And it kind of worked. I held it together for a few days and
tricked the brain.
So I was double sick after it, paid for it.
Yeah, so you get home, you're not feeling well, but is it I remember thinking when those I know you're not in space, but the astronauts got home after all that time away, and they were it takes a long time to get organized. Same thing with coming down from that altitude.
For sure. And so finally I'm easing back into it, texting people back. A
lot of unanswered texts.
Yeah.
You leave the dog behind. That would be a hard thing for me.
Oh my God, yeah.
Is that one of the hardest parts?
The hardest part for me, probably.
Really? What's the dog's name?
Oscar.
Yeah,
light of my world.
How old?
He's 14 at this point.
Okay. So, so you guys have been together for a while. So what do you tell? Does Oscar know the deal? You're all right. Yeah. She's packing up the climbing bag.
Yeah. And every time I go now, it's oof, it's more and more chance that I might miss them.
Oh yeah.
So it's hard.
That's their only flaw, right? They don't live long enough, those dogs.
Yeah, I know. We gotta fix that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's address that. Again, Rebecca Long joining us here. So just back, what was the biggest thrill? What's the highlight for you of the can we call it the Kanchenjunga trip, or I don't know, whatever you guys were calling it.
Both mountains or just Kanchenjunga?
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole mission. Yeah. was the
Lhotse
whole...
and Junga.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lhotse and Junga. Yeah.
The biggest thrill, I think, just being alone on Kanchenjunga for a few days, like being on the third tallest mountain in the world with like no one else. It was like, and it was just snowing heavily during that time, hence the avalanches.
Sure.
So just this pure beauty, like everywhere we went, it was like National Geographic worthy shots. And
Literally alone?
yeah, it was only the four of us, like
Yeah.
the whole time. Everyone had flown off the mountain like long before.
So you just you can walk off and take some alone time for yourself. That's
Yeah, I mean, maybe at camps, but like between camps, you're really rushing to get to the next safe location.
because it's kind of a team thing, right? Like you want to be like, working together, and if somebody strays, it's not good, right? I would imagine.
Yeah, you try to just stay together in general.
Yeah. Who was your team this time around?
So I went with an Austrian company called Furtenbach.
Okay.
Mostly, my guide Benny, I climbed K2 with him last year. He got me a special deal to go through Furtenbach, another company he works with.
Okay.
So, yeah, me, Benny, and then 2 Sherpas.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's you were posting some of those pictures. You told me before you even land, it's wild because it's like the craziest airport, right?
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
that- it's like,
Yeah, the Lukla airport is the most dangerous airport in the world. And
is that scarier than climbing sometimes?
I mean, if you can distract yourself pretty easily, but when you think about and you look at all the statistics, that's scary too. But yeah, you're on this, you're either on a helicopter or like this tiny, super outdated fixed wing plane that just, the landing is just so bumpy. And then when you get off the plane and look at it, you're like, how did I survive that?
Oh man,
me.
yeah, you're probably watching the other planes come in. You're like, that's a scary landing.
Right? What are those guys doing?
Did we just do that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So how long is that trip, Boston to? I don't know where your stop along the way. What's?
Yeah, it was. So we stopped in Qatar, which is Doha,
Yep.
or Doha is in Qatar. Sorry, in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Basically.
Weren't we calling it Qatar for a while? What did they?
I don't know. You're probably right.
No,
but
I think you're right. I think we're back to. I remember as newsrooms, we were struggling with that for a while. It's like maybe during the World Cup or something. We're like, oh, it's not that anymore. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let me know if you
It's
hear
neither
about
here nor
Qatar
there.
again.
No, I think it's Qatar. I think you're right.
Yeah, and then all the way to Kathmandu, and then a day or two in Kathmandu to get situated,
Yep.
and then on to Lukla,
All right.
and then the trek.
So, really, what are you greeted with there when you get? Are you immediately going to the ground base camp? You meet everybody. I don't know. Do you get a pass or something? How does it work?
Well, once you it's like a 3 to 7 day trek, depending on how long you take it.
Okay.
All the way to base camp. When you're there, the Sherpas and staff have done a lot of work, setting up the camp beforehand, which is amazing.
That's kind of cool. You learn about Sherpa life too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We couldn't do a thing without them.
Really?
They absolutely enable these climbs. They're superhuman strong.
Wow.
Yeah. Up at those elevations, they need very little oxygen and they can carry a ton. We're totally indebted to the Sherpas in every way.
Interesting.
So yeah, they set up the base camp. We get our own tents, which is really nice. These pretty big yellow standing tents, which makes it pretty comfortable since you're going to stay there over a month, just acclimatizing.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Did I see there? You should send a picture. We're both dog lovers. You sent a picture of a dog at one point. Where was that dog? Is that on one of the? It was one of the camps, obviously, but
Yeah, it was probably at base camp, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dogs don't tend to go higher than that.
Okay.
They need mountaineering equipment to get up there. They need the special boots.
They know. Okay, so that's on the
ice
ground.
axes.
I was like, I wonder how high the dogs get up there. It's probably
Yeah.
not too high. Okay, very good. Good. So I just had to check that off.
Still, it would be cool.
It would be. Rebecca Long joining us here talking about that. All right, so let's talk about the Lhotse though, because that's I know that was definitely on your list. You checked that off. Is that what's that feeling when you're at the top? Is it just you want to scream or I don't know? Do you just lay down and say, "Wow"?
Oh yeah, it's all of that, but you also are just so exhausted by that point. And
Yeah.
the day we summited Lhotse, we were battling biblical winds. We'd already turned around hours before.
Yeah.
Halfway up the mountain, we turned all the way back and went all the way back to Camp 4. And then spent maybe an hour and saw that the sun came out. We were like, oh, we don't want to give up. So we went back up, but it was pretty late in the day by then. So we had a 3 p.m. summit, which normally people wouldn't recommend. It's pretty dangerous to be summiting after 11 a.m. most of the time. But
so what? It's just harder conditions, actually harder. or like what are the obstacles that start creeping in later in the day?
It's just like bigger chance of storms. Like this is how if you into thin air, like John Krakauer, like they got in trouble because they all summited like super late, and a storm rolled in like a few hours after. So yeah, the chance of a storm happening is high. Like just not having light. Like everyone has a headlamp, but it's just not.
You want that
ideal.
sun shining, and
you want the sun shining. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the weather was just so. Yeah, the wind was like pushing us back literally. So
does it ever hit you when you're up doing these things? And I know you're like probably trained to it's probably not a thought, but is it ever like you're like, this is kind of miserable conditions, what the hell am I doing?
I mean, it's like 90% misery.
Kicking the crap out of your body.
Yeah, right. Like you're definitely not like elated while you're suffering, but I mean there are those moments, and overall there is just this feeling of accomplishment and just like being just thrust into all this beauty and the challenge of it. It's just I'm learning to appreciate it and kind of like be in the zone more than just like sufferfest like it used to be before.
It's funny you use that word suffer. It's try not to laugh at this because I think the comparison's probably but you'll see why. That tennis match, the French Open, just happened, right? And this epic 5.5 hour thing, great battle. Carlos Alcaraz wins the French Open. My old tennis idol was Rafael Nadal, who was that was always his word. It was like, you have to be willing to suffer out there, because he would stay out there forever and would just fight and not let balls get by, and forever. And that's why what made him so legendary. And that was its own kind of suffering, but that's like you suffer like Rafa on the court. And it's funny, you suffer on the mountain to get to the summits. That's an interesting way of thinking about it. Just it's a strange connection. I'm gonna say it's a lot harder than tennis in any form, but
I don't know. I mean, probably not.
Very nice to the tennis people. Yes, that's good. But, well, I mean, just the added fear of like, there's so much stuff. What always amazes me about you is there's so much stuff out of your control, and that was what I would struggle with that. I think, like the idea of like, I can do everything right. To summit this mountain, but like an avalanche could come out of nowhere. Or
that one hurt because like literally everything was going right. Like everyone felt great. Like my fitness was top level. I was holding it together with the colds. And it was literally just the avalanches. It's just.
But you're also alive. That's the other thing. Like,
totally. That's the biggest prize.
Like some of those, I mean, I'm sure you've had friends that you've probably lost in the mountain, or at least people that you've known, and it's like it's probably they didn't do anything wrong. It was just that's what makes that sport so unique.
Oh, for sure.
You're probably not going to die on a tennis court, but you might die on Lhotse. Oh man,
I've seen some of those serves.
True. Yeah, there are some big ones. Rebecca Long joining us here. Is Lhotse? I feel like I always ask about this, and it's you're like, he's fascinated by this. Do people die on Lhotse, right? Like they just you see them?
Yeah, there was one body like pretty fresh from a couple days ago. Someone who passed away up there, and they're always right on the line, so it's like
right on the path,
right on like the rope, so you literally have to like it's like too close for comfort, and it's a stark reminder. Like,
I bet does it give you like a, in a good way, like almost like an appreciation for being there in that moment and being able to keep going?
I mean, it puts things into perspective for sure. And it, I don't know, it just shows you like the gravity of what you're doing. Yeah. Both good and bad. And
good word for it, the gravity. Are there like respects that you have to pay when you go up there? And there is that, is there like a rule amongst climbers that like, when you go by somebody who has lost their lives, that you do something? Or
I mean,
you're like, no, maybe there should be.
There should be though, like a quick little respectful rights thing. I mean, we kind of the rule is not to take pictures or record them because it's super disrespectful. People end up doing that and they get like millions of views, but
because it is a fascination. I mean, I ask about it every time you're on.
So avoid doing that, and I don't know, just try to think of that they were people with a family, and
there's no like makeshift graves or anything, or are there?
I mean, I think sometimes people are like brought out of the way of like lines of the rope and stuff, but it takes a while for that to happen. And maybe next season, like people will get it together, but like a lot of people are trying to get up there, to the summit.
Is there There's no I mean, it's for part of your journey. I imagine there's also is there like some wildlife? Are there birds that come fly in? Like, I don't know.
So there's some insects actually, and there's some birds that you can see that you're like super impressed. They're like very normal looking birds. Like they're like small black, like almost like sparrows. Sometimes there's crows if there's a lot of trash, up at the high camps.
Yeah.
But it's not really flourishing up there. There's some bugs though too. I've seen.
I mean, you probably learned to appreciate those too. You're like, oh wow.
Oh, and then when you come down and you see grass or trees, you're just like having a meltdown.
Yeah.
It happens to me every time.
Oh, it must.
Yeah.
You know, that reminds me of who's the Star Trek guy who went up into space? Legendary. What's his name? Maybe you can get it for me. I'm mind blanking. But he did one of those, private things up in space, and he came back down. Older gentleman killing me, but he came back down and he started crying because he was just it's just so dark up there. Like, and it's like it's empty, and then you come here and it's beautiful. It's trees, it's green, it's blue skies, it's like there's animals. It's like you take for granted the beauty of being here. William Shatner, thank you, Maeve, producer of the year, who's I think like 80 now, and he went up, but he came down and he cried. It just made me think like I can understand that actually.
That reminds me of Katy Perry coming back,
yes,
right? And kissing the ground.
Yeah, she got a little more heat for that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, I hope she's doing okay. I was a little worried about her for a little bit.
She's well.
A lot of internet criticism there for Katy Perry.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, it's similar. So you really do respect all the green and the life that you see when you come down, huh?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You said a line to me when we talked outside of here about how I don't want to misquote you, but you said everything is just harder up there when you get to a certain altitude, and that really stuck with me because it makes sense. Everything's frozen hard. I'm sure your gloves are hard. Like, how do you keep everything together?
I think most of it is just mentally just staying upbeat, staying chipper.
Must be a lot of no negativity here.
I mean, there's plenty of that, but you just have to manage it, just so it doesn't overwhelm you. But I've gotten better about like taking care of myself. Like, there's no more almost frostbite on my face when I'm coming down. And
are those hard lessons to learn at the beginning?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm not cute on the mountain. Like, I'm completely covered. Like, there is no skin or anything.
Yeah.
And then just like dousing myself in sunscreen like every hour.
Oh, that must be a huge thing when you're that close to the sun. It's hitting off the snow and all that. Oh.
Yeah. The sun can end an expedition. Like, sunburns are just crazy up there, and reflecting off the snow, like, absolutely terrible.
You gotta take care of yourself.
Have to be really cognizant of that.
All right, Lhotse, Everest, and then you spent a lot of time on Kanchenjunga too. What's the? Is there one of those that really kind of brought you to life more than the other? Like, did you this is why I do this? Is there, or were they all kind of great in their own way? Yeah,
I'd say they all had their own great parts. Like, Kanchenjunga was just such a unique mountain for me. It was, instead of like Everest or Lhotse where you're generally just going up pretty steadily, it was just up and down, up and down. So, like, when you think, when you're actually descending, like, you have a lot of uphill to do.
Sure.
It was super technical, just super gorgeous, unusual. You can see, like, I'm not ready to give that mountain up. Definitely do have to go back eventually.
Yeah. What is the plan going forward? Do you, like, how long you must have to give yourself time before, like, you time at home before you, like, decide to start planning any other trips, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it wouldn't be until like the spring anyway. That's the season.
Pretty soon though. Like, I mean, you already kind of think that quickly. That's.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to do Kanchenjunga eventually, but I don't know if it's too soon.
Yeah. Would you do it with the same guide and everything, preferably, if you could?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd probably want to combine it with another mountain too, maybe Makalu.
Gotcha.
Yeah, number 5.
It takes so long to get to these places, right?
If you're out there, might as well throw another one in.
So what is when you talk about the, because you're starting to like really, I mean, your resume is incredible here for climbing. What's the, when it comes to like American climbers, like where do you rank as far as checking all these things off?
Oh man, I mean, I really haven't looked it up too much.
What's your LinkedIn bio say on this now?
Oh yeah. What are my stats?
Yeah.
If I did Kanchenjunga, I think I would have been the 6th American woman to get it done, and the youngest American woman too on Kanchenjunga. didn't happen. That's all right.
Yeah.
Lotse, I think I was maybe 8 or 9. I'll have to check again, but
Yep.
yeah, I'm kind of.
So do you mind me asking how old are you?
I'm 31,
31,
which isn't even particularly young. It just shows that there haven't been too many American
Yeah.
women that have actually climbed these tall mountains.
Is it more? Because I imagine like a lot of maybe it is slightly an older game though, just because maybe people are, I don't know, it costs money to do these things,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Travel and all that stuff, and maybe, you probably have to eventually hit yourself. That's what I really want to do. Maybe it takes time to figure out that part too.
Yeah.
Does it trend a little bit older?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that exact reason. When you're more established, you can actually afford these trips, and
Yeah.
it does take a lot of training, and it's a sport that's pretty conducive to aging. You know how you age out in a lot of sports like track and tennis.
Yeah.
You can hold on to a lot of your fitness for longer, and it helps with your stamina.
Yeah, it's probably you're in unbelievable shape, obviously. It's probably a great lifestyle thing, right?
Yeah, I think so. And
You're like, I come home and I eat all the junk food in the world. No,
yeah,
I
it is
imagine.
nice. I can kind of go crazy. But I think mountaineering's great because you can kind of put a lot of different kinds of activities in there. Like, I personally like to weightlift, and I like to
Yep.
run and bike. And I think it's like a great kind of, as long as you like stay fit and do things that you enjoy and have good cardio, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works out great.
Mountaineering, is that the official term? Like is that the
Yeah,
okay?
that's
Because
the
we were always
textbook
we were actually talking
version.
about that before you got here. We're like, wait, it's like a experienced climber. Like, it's not a hike. It's a lot different than a hike. It's mountaineering. That's the correct term. Okay.
Very good.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad we actually hit on that because it was a talking point out there. What do you actually call Rebecca Long? So that's pretty sweet. The what about like if you do hike a mountain here? Like if you like, does that even give you any joy? Like, do you get anything out of like just?
Oh, I mean, of course. Like, I
Yeah.
think, like the White Mountains and Katahdin and stuff, they all
Yeah.
have their own challenges.
Yeah.
Like, they're way older than any of the Himalayas, too.
Sure.
I think that's pretty cool, too. But I'm actually planning to do the Presidential Traverse in a couple weeks. And
Oh, nice.
Trying to do it in a day. Like, it's my next kind of challenge
Yeah.
goal, local.
Do you always need like that kind of not that you have to break records, but you always have to like have that kind of bar to go to?
I mean, somewhat. It just made sense logistically too.
Okay.
Like with, I don't know. I don't want to slug a tent out there and stuff. I want to go light and
Yeah.
fast. Like,
All right, cool. So it's not a Rebecca Long battle with Rebecca Long.
well, there's
You
maybe a little of it
there is a little
for
of
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Very good. What do you do with your summer here? Do you? I mean, obviously you're going to be. I imagine you probably stay in hiking shape or mountaineering shape because you want to be ready whenever you're.
Yeah.
Next plan,
I've
but-
just been like hitting the gym, like going on tons of runs, bike rides, just like. Even just walking around in the Boston Common close to where I live,
Yeah.
it just makes me so deliriously happy to see people just strolling around in
Sure.
shorts,
Yeah.
like with their dogs, and I don't know, even just like observing that.
I'd be so tempted to
nice.
like stop somebody on a bench in Boston Common and be like, "Hey, you know where I just came from?
Yeah, exactly.
Check this story out."
Yeah,
They'd be
no, that
like-
was tough.
I'd be like, "Who is this woman?"
Yeah.
That is funny. So the when the plan comes into place to whatever do your next thing, like what is the train? Like what do you have to train for Lotse, and like do you just ramp it up, or is it always kind of a steady, more of a lifestyle thing for you?
I definitely prefer to ramp it up as I get closer.
Yeah.
I had some issues like leading into this last expedition. These are really lame, but like I pulled my neck and that like knocked me out for a while. I twisted my ankle and I got sick a few times.
Yeah.
So I made the decision to just like really listen to my body, and I decided like I'd rather be out of shape, a little out of shape, and like suffer a little bit extra on the trek and stuff and get into shape on the mountain than like overtrain beforehand. That's
Sure.
like how I hear so many people's expeditions ending prematurely.
Yeah. Overtraining, yeah.
Yeah.
And you actually said you found yourself in a good spot, but then when it did come to, if you could have done it with the avalanche fears, you said you were actually ready to do it. So it's probably
Yeah.
whatever you accidentally drew up as a game plan, it was working, right? So,
Yeah, it's worked so far. Just intuitive climbing.
are you always nicked up as a mountaineer?
Nicked up?
Like little injuries, like
yeah,
a little ankle turns,
oh yeah,
cuts and
I
bruises here.
wouldn't show you my feet when I got back. There's definitely
Another
some
tennis
toenails falling
comparison.
off
It's another tennis comparison. Bad feet.
Yeah, we have a lot in common.
Who knew, right?
Yeah.
I'll stop with those comparisons. People are going to be like, "Shut up, Drew. This is nothing like that." Too funny. Rebecca Long. Favorite? What's the first thing you did? Like first meal, first night out. What was the? Is there something where you're like, "All right, back home, got to do this. This is what I miss."
Well,
Dog doesn't count. That's a given.
Yeah.
That's a given.
So I love pho, which is like Vietnamese noodle soup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I always love having that when I get back because I'm always like out of sorts in some way, like sick, and it's just such a comforting way to get back into home life. Big bowl of pho.
That makes me big bowl of pho. Very nice. Sounds like a band name. What do you eat when you're doing these major? What do you eat on Lhotse?
Yeah, good question. So at Everest Base Camp, where we were for like a month, we actually had like a hired chef, and she was great.
Oh, wow.
She's worked at Michelin star restaurants around the world, and obviously you can't do much like at that elevation, but she did a really good job. And so we were always eating pizza and stews,
all
kinds of good food. On the upper mountain, it got a little trickier. Most of the time we would eat like freeze-dried food, so whatever came in a bag. There's actually some surprisingly good meals like macaroni, bolognese.
Yeah.
And then just a lot of Snickers bars, Jolly Ranchers.
Is that where you're carrying up?
Yeah.
Snickers, because just in case, you want to have something up there.
For
right?
sure.
What's you probably don't, is it hard to even like reach into your pocket sometimes? And everything's tough up there, right?
Yeah. You got to be strategic, but the down suits are great because there's tons of huge pockets, which is a novelty as a girl. We don't get many pockets generally, so it's always cool. Like you can put entire bottles of Coca-Cola, tons of candy bars.
Are you bringing Coca-Cola and candy bars up there?
Yeah, I learned from someone actually racing to get the record, like the fastest time from the summit to the base camp to the summit. He's the one who taught me you should bring a bottle of Coca-Cola up there because it's better than water on summit day.
Oh.
Yeah, it actually stays in your stomach and it gives you the caffeine, the kick that you need.
Get that energy boost. Okay.
Yeah.
Who knew? Coca-Cola and Snickers, the championship down the stretch.
The champions. Yeah.
That is too funny.
Definitely.
All right. Very exciting. All right. So Rebecca Long, if you want to follow your story, you got a good Instagram and all that stuff. I think you have unbelievable videos and pictures. I watched them for on a loop for a little while, which is it must be cool for you too because that connects you to the world a little bit, right? You post that stuff and then people are wishing you good luck. That must be a cool moment.
Yeah. I've developed a surprisingly decent fan base somehow, and so I think
it's this show. Once you appeared here,
it was I was in Gravy Train after that. But yeah, I got dozens and sometimes hundreds of people commenting, wishing me well, and sometimes it's overwhelming as the introvert that I am. I hate saying that.
Yeah.
But it's also just really nice to know that there's so much support, even from local people, probably due to your show.
Yeah. You got a lot of fans here after that. I know that people were texting me that is incredible. Aww. I don't think I realized how because I think a lot of people that was probably the first time they had ever heard of Mount Everest for some reason, but you don't hear as much about Lhotse and and
happy to spread the wealth.
There you go. All right, Rebecca Long, it was so great to see you again. We are following all your journeys, but have a nice, relaxing summer if you can.
Thank you so much, Drew.
And get your body all right after that unbelievable trek. Rebecca Long, 10 days back now from her from eastern Nepal there, and Lhotse, and has spent a whole lot of time on Kanchenjunga too. Have I said it okay throughout the show? Pretty good?
Out of the park.
Really?
Yeah, you did great.
Okay, good. I practiced it 2 weeks ago now. It's all paying off now, but it's been a pleasure. We'll see you again soon, all right?
All right. Thank you so much, Drew.
Thank you to May Power, Sarah Hayden, the boss, Ryan Rothberg, Lily Doucette, our small but mighty team here in Newburyport. We love you. Talk to you soon. Rebecca Long, that was awesome. Talk to you soon, guys.